Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yurike, and here I would like to present my reflections on learning experience in Proyek Kepemimpinan course. So in this occasion, I would like to deliver several things such review of learning experience, reflections on learning experience, analysis of learning artifact, reflection result in form of meaningful learning. So as we already experienced before, we already studied about 4 chapters in the Proyek Kepemimpinan. Start from chapter 1, there's orientation. Chapter 2 is planning. Chapter 3 is implementation, and chapter 4 is reporting. Meanwhile, in this occasion, I would like to deliver my reflections in the chapter 1, which is the orientation. So, the review of learning experience. What learning experience are useful and interesting? So, in the leadership project course, especially in chapter 1 on orientation, I've learned many things that are not only relevant for future teachers, but also have been to reflect on who I am and who I want to become as an educator. One of the most meaningful part was learning about the importance of having a clear vision as a professional teacher. This vision is not just a dream, it's more like a compass that helps us stay grounded and focused, especially in the face of change and challenges in education system. Writing and reflecting on my personal vision made me think deeply, what kind of teacher do I want to be, and what kind of change do I want to bring to my students and school someday. I was also inspired by the idea that teachers are leaders and role models. The philosophy of Ki Hajar Dewantara, Ingat Sosungkulodo, Englandio Mangunkarsa, Tuguri Handayani is not just a slogan, it's a way of life for teachers. It reminds me that a teacher isn't only about delivering content, but also about shaping students' character and setting an example through our everyday actions. Learning about the purpose of Pancasila, students opened my eyes to the real purpose of education in Indonesia. To grow students who are independent, reflective, and responsible citizens. To support that, teachers need to become facilitators, not just lecturers who build a positive learning environment and guide students with care and empathy. Another thing that stood out to me was the concept of system thinking. I realized that in education, nothing stands alone. Everything is connected, start from student, teacher, curriculum, value, community, and even policies. So they don't work separately. What happens to one can affect to another. By seeing the big picture, we can make wiser, more thoughtful decisions that benefit everyone in the system. For example, if a student is having a hard time learning, it might not just be about the student. It could be because the way lesson is taught by the teacher doesn't match with how they learn best, or maybe things at home are difficult, or maybe the school doesn't have enough support for the teacher. Everything is linked. When we use system thinking, we try to see the whole picture, not just one small part that helps us make better decisions. Because if we think about how our actions affect others in the system, it's not about blaming one person or one part, but about working together to fix a problem in a smart and caring way. Next, reflections on learning experience. So there are several things that we have to do in these sections. Start from the task 1.1, the visions of a professional teacher. In the sections, it's contain the learning plan and content of an explanation of the theoretical framework of the professional teacher's visions. And in the sections, we have to fulfill some 3 tasks. Start from the assignment 1.1, we were asked to write the visions of a professional teacher based on the previous reading. And in assignment 1.2, we were asked to map out the challenges and strengths of a professional teacher using a fishbone diagram as a cause and effect thinking tool. We were instructed to identify the challenges faced by the teacher and strengths needed to be addressed those challenges. And this is the learning artifact. So from the learning artifact, we can see what the weaknesses and the strength of the teacher itself. Start from the technology, the student itself, and competency, time management, being a professional teacher from assignment 1.1 and 1.2. So here is the learning artifact. So here I'm doing some reflections about myself about how to be a professional teacher. That same as the key jadi Montoro principle ingat saya tua dari mandi mengangkat suatu kemudian. And next in 1.2 there is a service learning for the community and society. This contains of the lesson plan, which is service learning for the community and society, and contains theoretical framework of the service learning for the community and society itself. And there is a task, one task that we have to fulfill in this chapter, in this part, which is task 2.1, environment observations. In the sections we are asked to form a small group consisting of 3 people. Each group will conduct an observation of their surrounding environment using the 5D Bagja method to identify problem in the area where you live that can later be used as a main topic for our leadership project showcase. So this is the analysis of learning artifact that already I delivered before. Start with assignment 1.1, 1.3, 1.2. And the reflection is inform of meaningful learning, considering the principle of meaningful student-centered learning. What change would I make regarding this topic? Well, if I were to make changes regarding this topic, I will put more focus on designing learning experiences that are student-centered, contextual, and community-based. For example, during our leadership project, I learned how to engage with the community, and listening to their problem helped me see how education can be a real solution. This aligns with the service learning approach, which is both meaningful and empowering for students. And I will also involve students more in reflecting on their own learning, giving them a voice and shaping the learning process instead of just delivering content. I want to create space for students to ask questions, explore real issues, and take ownership of their project. By doing this, I believe learning becomes more relevant, deep, and impactful for both students and community that they live in.